But the main locomotive I use is this one, eh? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, so here's the winch that the gentleman here uses to pull the car. With this rope hooked onto the car here. And then he pulls it over the silo. As you can see it emptying now. And then it goes down inside of this pit here, and there's sort of a jack screw that pulls it up to the conveyor, which transfers up this elevator. And then it drops down into this little section here, and then up it goes. To fill the bins. And then the trucks, the grain trucks, back into here. And load up. And off they go to market. Okay, so how's everybody doing? So stick to the plan if the plan is good, right? So that doesn't mean you have to be like legalistic about it or not open to revision, but a good plan is important because it helps you to have a basis for what you're going to do on the layout, right? And I want to talk about that, but not particularly this area, but I'm just giving you a little bit of an overview of this first section one that's primarily done, minus all the, the nice little creamy details and so on. But before I jump over to the section 3 and talk a little bit about section 2, I just want to tell you just a really short story about how I came to love model railroading, or what was the moment that the light turned on or whatever, okay? And then I'll jump over and talk about the Milner Grain Ops, and I'll also talk about what is going on over here, right? Because this is where I'm focusing now. You can see I sort of bookended section 1, or the first 20% of section 2. Left a bit of a bookend there. I love that because that'll force me to go deep creatively to figure out how I'm going to transition that into the next scene. I'm not worried about that though, because that'll come. But I want to talk to you about this section over here and then further over to the right. But let me just pan back and tell you this quick story on how I sort of got into model railroading, or what struck me the most about it and left an impression on my life. So when I was about 9 years old, there was a neighbor, well actually a lot of neighbors, probably unbeknownst, had model railroads, most notably Lionel in the 60s, right? So I was like in 1969, I was 8 years old. Yeah, I was about 8 years old, 7 or 8. And I had my little brother with me, and I had discovered that the neighbor had this beautiful Lionel model railroad in his basement. And so I brought my little brother over to have a look at it. And we were sort of leaning down on this lower window along the sidewalk along the house kind of. And, back then everybody sort of knew each other kind of, and everybody left their doors and windows open. Right. And as we were looking through the window, it was one of these sort of hinged wooden windows. I just sort of pushed on it and it opened, beckoning us to go in and have a closer look, right? Anyway, so I went in first and my brother in tow, and we had to virtually stand on our toes to see this layout. And man, were we ever blown away. But as we were taking the layout in, we heard the door opening in the house and we thought, oh no, right? So I bolted for the window first, and my little brother was following behind me, but I got out of the window. But by the time he got up onto the windowsill, the man had come into the room and grabbed him by the feet. And as I was looking over my shoulder, he was being dragged into the house. It was like right out of a Alfred Hitchcock movie or something, right? So I ran home, which is about 4 houses away or whatever, and into the back door. And there was this knock on the front door. I'm standing behind my dad in the house in the hallway, and there's this, guy with my little brother, in tears, right? Bringing him home and saying, your son was in my house. Anyway, and here I am saying, please don't rat me out. But anyway, I think he got a licking for it, which might explain why I love model railroads and he doesn't. But anyway, here I am 50 years later, and I still love model railroads. So I want to talk to you about this section here, okay? So what I'll do is I'll reposition, and then I'll pan the area and explain to you some of my thoughts and reasonings for this update and tell you in the direction that I'm heading, okay? Okay, so I'll just follow Dusty's lead then. And I'll just come over here and just talk to you about what the initial plan was or idea was for this section, which is section 2. This is the end of section 2 right here. Okay, the curved backdrop there, and then this is section 3, which ultimately will have staging, like cassette type staging, where the main line on the right runs to, and then of course the siding, the Milner Grain Elevator siding. Now I don't have space obviously to model the whole siding, do I? Right? Selective compression is a subjective term for each individual. It depends how you want to model the scene, right? So this will get moved around and shifted around, but that won't be determined quite yet until I get my curvature of my turnouts as I'm laying up here, you can see. Like, you'd be surprised a few degrees right or left what it will do to, you know, a piece of tangent that follows off of that, right? Like, it's like, this is how you have to do it. Like, yes, I'm sticking to the plan, even though the plan has been revised. Like, I'm gonna, like, once I'm done, once this track work is done, I'm gonna basically redraw this plan to match the layout that's established now. But this was the initial plan, right? You can see on the left where the barge slip is. You can see where the warehouse to the far left goes along there, and there, you know, there were some modifications made there as well. There's a little, but you can't tell yet. But that's the initial plan that I've been sticking to. Now the far right corner, you can see where the shop facade. That was the idea, like a ladder going into the yard, which is what it's like on the prototype. I'll just show you a pic quick, just about the idea that I had for this location. Okay, so, but things are getting tight. Now I got to build more turnouts. Like, I don't really want any more turnouts, to be honest with you. Like, every time you add a turnout, right, then you got to add more wiring, a switch machine, etc., etc. So one turnout, even if you scratch build them, you don't save a whole lot of money when you scratch build turnouts, but you get a custom turnout that you can fit to your plan. Like, the turnout won't dictate your plan dictates the turnout. But I don't really want any more, to be honest with you. Like, I can easily turn these two, like this three-ways here, for a reason to save space. But, okay, so I can do that, but it gets to be a little bit tight, right? Or I can put IPEX plastic industry in there. Like, depends what I want to do. Like, what am I going to do with an engine facility, like a locomotive facility, other than just store my locomotives on the layout? Right? I mean, it'll look cool, but you can't have everything. It's the way it is, right? Like, when you design a layout, you got to delete stuff. I mean, that was the first idea. The locomotive shops was the very first idea that I was going to put in right here. Right? And this was going to be the exit way for the yard right here, but I had obviously changed that and put the barge slip here, and I'm glad I did, right? Because this is the opening scene, and this is my stub end off staging where the ferry comes in to bring cars in and cars off, mostly bridge traffic, like petroleum cars, bridge traffic going through, which will then eventually run through the layout like this, right? Come down the main here, and then off, you know, to interchange or Chilliwack. Like, that's where it goes off to Chilliwack this way. This is the Langley here. And then, so I don't know what I'm going to do here. Like, this would be New West. So now I have Annacis Island on section 1, and then I got a New West shops here, and then Langley. I could do that, or I can put IPEX plastics industry in here, which would fit really nice because there's a sort of an overpass right here, and it would help create like a distinct separation of different regions, right, on the railroad, on the short line. Like, so you see, there's a lot of decisions that a person has to make when they build and design their layout. most notably on a shelf layout where you don't have a lot of space. And I mentioned cascading runarounds. There's three. I always had that in mind. Cascading meaning that they're not parallel to one another, that they overlap. Right? You can see there's one here, and then there's one here, and then there'll be one further down here, right? Which is necessary if you don't want to handle your locomotives, because as you know, every time you handle a locomotive, something breaks, right? Fingerprints, etc., etc. So anyway, but I know that this is going to go here. And like I say, I don't want to block the window. There's no way. I already blocked one, sort of. And there's no way it's going to happen. So if there's more railroad, it's going to be like a flat diorama type interchange here, which I can still go a ways down. I can put a bridge diorama in there or whatever. But that's phase 2, right, of River Road in that sense. But this is what I'm going to put here, and I'm going to play around with this and get this now. I really want to model this scene, most notably because you know it's now out of service. So, and this line here is actually owned by SRY Rail Link, but CPCN leases this as a connector to Delta Coal Pit and then over to the CN main out along the Fraser River. So that makes for interesting locomotive meets or visitations on the layout, which I kind of like. So, and then obviously I can't service this end. This is a double-ended siding, so you got to make your decision. Right? Like I'm not going to crush a short siding in there. There's no way. So, and then part of the intersection, you'll see crushed crescent goes this way. And then what I'll have here is like part of Glover Road. You'll just get part of Glover Road coming down like this, kind of like the way the original Glover Road shelf layout was. And it'll just taper off here. That way I can do the ditch and the proper spacing here and, you know, all the other stuff. And then there's the parking lot, you know, where the trucks turn around and come in here. So I've got trucks and grain bins, so I want to model that as well. And then there's the little bit more modern cell tower, which is prototypical as well. It goes back about 15 years or so, or 10 or 12 years. So, but that is part of the scene that I want. That represents the new and the old, right? That's the idea that I want. So anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell for the update. And right now, as you can see, I will be doing this. That's building more turnouts, okay? So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow the build in the channel. It's ongoing and will be for quite a while. The journey of River Road continues. Okay? Cheers.